Hi, my name is Sarah Brooke Vanaman, and I really enjoyed the book Through Fire and Water because it combined all the elements of my favorite books. It had danger, suspense, drama, mystery. The mystery part is what I like the best, where you're reading the story and you'd have no idea what's going on, but you keep forming your own opinions and saying, "Oh, I bet this is what it's all about," and then you find out at the end that you were completely wrong, and yet it's a great ending. I especially like this excerpt because it has a lot of great characters. It introduces Simon, the sadistic puppeteer who's, controlling this whole thing. And then there's Michael, who I feel like everyone can identify with. He's the everyman, and, even women reading the book can put themselves in his shoes and enjoy it. And then, of course, you have Sid, lovable Sid, this nice little sidekick who's on Michael's side, which, thank goodness, because that guy has a lot going against him. Well, without further ado, here is my rendition of Through Fire and Water. Night had ended as the sun was appearing over the Manhattan skyline, and still Michael Winston was no closer to saving his kidnapped father, Jake. Jake was an old, frail, and decorated World War II hero, whose fate now lay in his son's hands. Only 5 days remained until the month-long deadline. Throughout the harrowing night, he was manipulated into running 50 blocks, desperately racing from ringing payphone to payphone, answering the calls on time, fulfilling the sadistic demands of Simon, the ringmaster of the whole operation. Simon taunted and played with him like a mouse caught in a trap. With his lungs burning from exhaustion, he managed to answer another one. "How many times do I have to tell you? This is not a game," said Simon. "What do you think I am doing? Fooling around? I am doing my best," pleaded Michael. "Your best," retorted Simon. "Tell that to your father when we send him to hell." "Let me talk to my father," yelled Michael. "Let me—" Simon hung up, leaving Michael with only the dial tone. Frustrated, Michael banged the receiver. "Please, please!" From the side of his eye, he noticed a homeless man walking up the sidewalk, pushing a shopping cart. "Sid! Sid!" shouted Michael. "Who wants to know?" Unfamiliar with Michael's cleaned-up and well-dressed look, Sid couldn't recognize him. "It's me, Mike. Michael?" "Mikey! Mikey! What happened to you?" "They got my father. They're going to take him down." Off in the distance, another payphone was ringing. "You gotta help me, Sid. You got to." Michael reached into his right-hand jacket pocket, removed a digital recorder, and handed it over to him. Another payphone rang, chiming in harmony with the first phone. "It's all here. I gotta go." Michael gave chase. Sid activated the recorder. Sounds of ferocious thunder, heavy rain, blustering wind, and Michael wailing were heard. It was the night that his father died, 25 days earlier. Several hours had passed since Jake had passed on. The grief was infusing itself into Michael. A failed but brilliant man, Michael had been living on the streets for the last 15 years. Homeless, his only companion was his shopping cart, Marty. Overwhelmed with loss, pangs of guilt, and self-loathing, he raced through Central Park, numb to the wild and dark storm. One could barely see him. Lightning struck the cart, revealing a half-crazed man with disheveled hair, with a long, unkempt beard, and a digital recorder tied to a strap hanging around his neck. The 15 years had taken their toll on Michael. The lightning bolt overturned the cart, spilling its contents to the ground. In the center of the mess lay a framed photograph of a younger Michael in a college cap and gown, arm in arm with his father, a gentle but powerful man. Estranged from his father, Michael had never stopped thinking about him and how he let him down. The photograph was the only item left that reminded him of his glory days and the future that he had hoped to achieve but was now lost, since his father would never see his son succeed. As if his life force was in the balance, he quickly picked up the photo and kissed it. "Oh, Pops, Pops." The ground began to shake wildly. An immense and menacing shadow quickly approached as the ground split. Michael hastily returned the contents into the shopping cart and began running for his life. A towering wall shot out from the underneath, followed by 3 more, trapping him. A beam of light descended and whisked him upwards and through a tunnel that seemed to traverse billions of light years and worlds away, bringing him into a dark oval room. Standing in the center of the room, he began pacing back and forth, trying to overcome his fear as he calmed himself down by talking into his recorder. "Where am I?" A very bright spotlight shined into his face. Behind the spotlight, an unseen, mysterious figure had commenced to speak. It was Simon. "Silence, Michael Winston. Silence. We have your father," said Simon. "My father? My father? You're crazier than I am. My father is dead." "Maybe in your world, but this is the hereafter. Look." Appearing on the wall was a myriad of downcast human beings in black outfits, marching in uniform lines toward a horrible inferno. Among them was Jake. "Pops! Pops!"